The Israeli-Palestinian conflict has been raging for decades. Neither wars, terror attacks, uprisings, international treaties, peace agreements nor repeated promises to honor UN resolutions have changed a thing. There is deep mistrust between both parties, and practically no willingness to strike any kind of historic compromise to achieve peace. US President Donald Trump has unveiled his long-awaited peace plan for the Middle East. It calls for a Palestinian state with its capital in East Jerusalem. It also grants Israel control of disputed territories in the Jordan Valley. Trump's suggestions to resolve the Israeli-Palestinian conflict offer no new ideas or solutions. On the contrary, what Trump has hailed as the deal of the century is actually a misnomer. It is not a deal in the actual sense of the word. It does not reflect a compromise between two equal partners. Instead, it is an attempt to impose Trump's ideas on the Palestinians. Billed as a vision for peace, prosperity and a brighter future, the 180-page proposal unveiled on 20th January reads much like a real estate prospectus. It promises the Palestinians a $50 billion economic development plan, jobs and investments as a way out of poverty, and statehood at some point in the future. Theirs would be a demilitarized state fully enclosed by Israel, whose security interests would take precedent. A realistic solution would give the Palestinians all the power to govern themselves but not the powers to threaten Israel, as the vision it puts it. All of this puts the Palestinians in a very difficult position. The US has now openly sided with Israel, abandoning the long-held pretense of being the honest broker. The president's so-called deal largely caters to Israel's security interests, save for a few symbolic concessions to the Palestinians. The Palestinians, who were not even consulted in the formulation of the plan, would be the clear losers should this proposal be implemented. They could lose areas currently under Israeli occupation or controlled by settlers through annexation, even though the Palestinians are entitled to these lands by international law. This approach is immoral and degrading because it unfairly favors the more powerful Israeli side. But the approach is also highly dangerous as it effectively leaves Israel free rein to annex further Palestinian territory. Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has blasted a plan for resolving the Arab-Israeli conflict presented by Donald Trump, saying the proposal is a blatant attempt to ignore the Palestinians' rights and legitimize Israel's occupation of Palestinian territories. German Foreign Minister Heiko Maas has called for a balanced approach to breaking the deadlock. Only a negotiated two-state solution, acceptable to both sides, can lead to a lasting peace between Israelis and Palestinians, he said. Prime Minister Boris Johnson, speaking about the proposal in Parliament on Wednesday, stated, "No peace plan is perfect, but this has the merit of a two-state solution. It is a two-state solution. It would ensure that Jerusalem is both the capital of Israel and of the Palestinian people." Russia said it would assess the proposal and called on Israelis and Palestinians to negotiate directly to find a mutually acceptable compromise. Palestinian authorities rejected the terms of the deal. Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas called the plan a conspiracy and stressed that Palestinian rights are not for sale. Meanwhile, Israeli PM Netanyahu praised it as the opportunity of the century. Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas rejected the plan as nonsense and promised to resist the deal in all its forms. Washington has long acted in the spirit of Imperial Athens, believing that might makes right, or the strong do what they can and the weak suffer what they must, as Thucydides described it over 2,000 years ago. Only an insane can claim this plan a truce for peace according to SN Eskima.